Today we're going to be diving into my book journal and I'm going to be telling you the 26 books I'm going to be reading in 2026. And if you'd thought I'd perfectly set up my entire TBR for the year, I tried. And I only noticed today that I literally put 25 and 2025, not 26. What was I thinking? The book that I'm going to add to this list is Red Rising by, oh, you would have thought I would have looked this up, Pierce Brown. I did know that. This is the first book in the Red Rising saga. I assume it's going to read kind of similar to Star Wars vibes, so I'm gonna be there. The first book on my list is One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. This is the first book in the One of Us is Lying series. Essentially, it's about a group of school kids in detention. Someone dies and you got to work out who killed him, but there's only 5 people in the detention room, so you know it has to be one of these 5 people. Well, hypothetically. Even my friends who don't read regularly have said they love this book, so I'm like, oh, let me hop on that, because if you like it, I'm sure I like it. Me likey. What a great episode of Modern Family.
What is wrong with me likey?
Claire,
yes?
I love you.
Oh, then stop saying it.
Just seems a little childish.
Really? Because you're the one who can't stop playing with his pogo stick.
You know what? Maybe you'd be happier if you played with my pogo stick once in a while.
Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. Her books were really popular this summer and I didn't read a single one, but I went on holiday and there was a lovely little book swap at the hotel that I went to. I actually saw the girl reading it around the pool and I was like, oh, good choice. She's a book talk girly, good choice. And then I saw it at the book swap where she'd obviously left it and I was like, oh, you're coming home with me. And it was actually the morning we were leaving I saw it, so I was like, oh, must be a sign. They're obviously happy romances, but equally I think they do have some good emotional depth to them, which I'm quite excited about. Also, Emily Henry, a radiant debut. It was her first book. Oh my god, it was her first book. Oh. Damn! We're gonna give this a review in the summer, so you better hold your horses, girls. This book I want to read because I have watched the film in cinemas when I was like 15 or 16, but as I was 15 I literally could not concentrate for the life of me, and me and my friend just spoke the whole way through it. I'm sorry to anyone who was in that cinema room because you would have hated us, but I've got this in the charity shop. Look at this edition of Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I might be fudging that up. Oh, look at me not swearing, who do I think I am? That is the most cutest edition I've ever seen, and where was I going with this? I want to read it before I watch it, because obviously I have watched it technically, but I don't remember any of it. I'm someone who gets distracted by series, that I'll start a series and move on to the next and I won't go back for it for like half a year. So I really need to carry on with Crescent City. I'm up to the second book, House of Sky and Breath by Sergei Mass. And we know ACOTAR 6 is in the works. People are saying you need to read all of Crescent City to now understand ACOTAR 6, which is not ideal because Crescent City are big books and they're chunky and they're terrifying and they're scary. But the first book I absolutely loved, 4.5 stars, so I am excited to read the next one. 𝘴𝘰𝘤𝘪𝘢 Oliphant is completely fine. This is by Gail Honeyman. I absolutely love this cover. Look at the little stars like sparkling. Oh my god. More receipts. This one was £1. I see this book in the charity shop all the time and I just kept leaving it, and then one day I posted a video about it and a lovely girl that I follow on TikTok, I can't remember her name, her account is only for the books, and she commented saying how she loved this book and I should have got it. So I went back and I luckily found an even better condition one, so I was like, brilliant, love that for me. And I'm pretty sure, let me read you the blurb because I'm pretty sure it's just like a coming of age book. 𝘴𝘰𝘤𝘪𝘢 Oliphant, I'm definitely saying that wrong, leads a simple life. She wears the same clothes to work every day, eats the same meal for lunch every day, and buys the same 2 bottles of vodka to drink every weekend. 𝘴𝘰𝘪𝘢 Oliphant is happy. Nothing is missing from her carefully timetabled existence, except sometimes everything. I felt a bit like kind of attacked by that, can't I? You know when you get a bit stuck in your routine, you forget to actually live and not just be in a routine? I feel like I definitely do that. This one, I feel like most people are going to be like, go get on that ASAP. I would argue one of the most known book talk fantasy series, slash I think it might be dystopian, and that is Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. This is City of Bones. I think that's the first series of like the... This book is City of Bones, and it's the first book in the Mortal Instruments series, which is a massive fantasy slash dystopian, I think. Oh look, 99p. This universe consists of multiple series, all by Cassandra Clare, and they all link. So I haven't read a good, proper fantasy since I read House of Earth and Blood, which was, I think, last January. It's been a year since I read Crescent... Oh. You can tell I put off, because why has it been a year since I read Crescent City? I've got issues, man. Brother, that's a kind of a problem, low-key. Next up, we've got a really obvious one that I can't believe I still haven't read as a fantasy girly, and that is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. The first book in the Fourth Wing trilogy currently. Absolutely coming to the cottage. I'm coming to the cottage. I'm not even going to go into why I want to read Fourth Wing. I think it's very explanatory. Is that the word? I think it is. You guys know that I absolutely love Magnolia Parks. She's even wearing a jumper. Why am I so washed out, brother? This is from New Chapters, a really cute small business, so definitely head there for all your book merch. I want to read Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings, who is the same author as Magnolia Park. I think it's her newest release, and actually I do know a few people didn't like it as much as Magnolia Parks. I love her writing and I really do want to read it anyway. I do know people who did enjoy it as well as not so much. Only right that I give the rest of her books a shot. On that note, I also have The Conditions of Will on my TBR. This book was rated as highly as Magnolia Parks. It's had such good reviews. She just writes how like you would read someone's brainwaves, and I just, it scratches an itch in my brain. I love it. I'm actually currently reading this next book, and I almost DNF'd it this morning. I was like, oh my god, this is actually going nowhere, like nothing is happening. And that is Call Me By Your Name by Andre Ackerman, I believe. This is very popular, and obviously Timothée Chalamet. Hello!
I got a frozen brown elephant, which is Coca-Cola. Hello!
There's not chapters in this book, it's in 4 or 5 parts, I believe. That whole section is considered part 1 / chapter 1. That whole thing, nothing happened. It was just him talking about how much he's like encapsulated by this guy. So I was like, I'm kind of over this now. Like, you've already told me like 5 times why you love him so much. I've been highlighting quotes, like it's really beautiful writing. The only way I can describe this book is when a teacher says you've got a word count to reach, so you just throw in as many metaphors and similes as you can. The Nightingale by Christina Hanna. No, The Nightingale by Christina Hanna. This book is like worldwide famous and popular. So once again, not going to go into much detail besides the fact that it's just a non-negotiable in life. Also, as a feminist, it had to be done. This book is like a historical fiction, I believe, and you're following 3 sisters during, I believe, World War II. Stuff they have to go through as women and as sisters. It's supposed to be quite sad, and I love a sad book, to be honest. I'm not to, you know, leech on people's sadness, but I do love a sad book, so I'm weirdly excited and scared to read it. This next book really intrigues me because I feel like I see a lot of mixture of reviews. I will say once again, got it for £1. Mate, these receipts are coming out left, right and centre, bruv. The Ministry of Magic by Callie Bradley. I saw Emily Henry read this book, and I saw Hayley Pham, my bad. Hayley Pham loves Emily Henry, so whenever I go to say her name, I 9 times out of 10 say Emily Henry instead. She absolutely loved this book. I actually almost bought it in Waterstones. Why did I go American? In Waterstones. But I didn't, because, you know, Waterstones is spenny as hell. And then when I saw this bad boy in the charity shop, I was obviously gonna get it. I was so excited. I think it's once again a historical fiction about like time travel mixed in with the modern day, and there's like a really small side plot of romance. So I'm quite interested because I've not read anything like this before, and I also quite like that, I don't know, get into it. Another one that's been on my list for so long is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. This book, just as popular as Nightingale, worldwide known. I feel like it's up there with Song of Achilles. Every freaking time I say Achilles, what am I thinking? I don't really know what it's about. I think it's a bit of like a murder mystery, but like, I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. I don't know. I actually started audiobooking this last night because I finished 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I was so into that. I was like, I need another audiobook to fulfill my soul. So I picked Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This is, I'm suspecting a lot of yearning, a lot of romance, but also some gut-wrenching reality, which, you know, as someone who's just watched Heated Rivalry and it's like at its peak right now. Actually, while we're here, this is so cringe, but every time I love a show, like almost guaranteed to make a journaling spread about it. I made a journaling spread about it. I've actually guessed about this. This was like I felt kind of proud of that. I feel like my artistic side came out for 2 secs there, but only 2 secs, don't be silly. You're probably gonna know it. Alchemized. That is on my list. A big, massive, 1,000-page singular book. Well, it was originally a fan fiction, I believe, based off Hermione and Draco. And then when she published it, she obviously had to change more of it to avoid the copyright issues. So now it's kind of loosely based off that now. But I would argue one of the top bought books of the entire year. It was viral, it was everywhere, everyone was reading it at the same time besides me. So I got okay, next out on the page is 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, but as I said, I finished that. Absolutely devoured it. 4.5 stars, great audiobook, I loved, but ticked that off the list. And then next was Pride and Prejudice. Once again, read, DNF'd. I got 30 pages in and said, oh, this, I'm gonna watch it. And if I'm honest, I didn't like the film either. But I'm glad I read it. I know what it's about. I don't get the hype. I'm a part of the club. It's Anxious People by Frederick Backman. I feel like he's done a 360 and he's coming back around again. And people are like rediscovering his books. And by people, I do obviously mean me. Which is really fun and fresh. I actually started the audiobook last night and it was so good that I said, I actually want to read this. There was definitely a few things when I was audiobooking it that I would have wanted to highlight, so we're going to start from the beginning. The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake is the first book in the Atlas series. Olivia Blake is one of Lauren Roberts' favourite authors, and Lauren Roberts is my favourite author. So I was obviously going to read this. Once again, another very popular, I believe, fantasy, maybe dystopian series. Hayley fan, loved this book, gave it 5 stars. And to be honest, it's just a very popular BookTok book that I'm like, I have to read it. It's like a non-negotiable. It's God Killer by Hannah Kaner, I believe is how you say her name. And that is the first book in the Fallen Gods series. I bought the first book in a charity shop. And the second one I got for £1 at the works. So I was like, hey, don't get better than this. These ones are like 400 pages maybe. So if I want like a quick, easy, short series, that's fantasy, we're in there. We're in the money. We're in the money. And the last fantasy book is Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. I do want to read Swordcatcher before Mortal Instruments because I feel like Swordcatcher isn't spoken about as much, so I have an inkling that it's not going to be as good, and therefore I won't continue the series anyway. So I just like, logically it makes more sense just to start that one to get it like out the way. But I bought it because it was a sprayed edge at the works and it was stunning, and I've had it on my shelf for like 3 years now. So hopefully we get to that eventually. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I mainly just want to read it because the film is in the works right now and I want to read it before I watch it, but I know nothing about it. I also am constantly on the hunt for new romance authors I actually like. I'm very fussy with my romance books. Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. This is a very popular feminist book. I feel like a lot of people have seen or heard of this book and I'm the only one who hasn't read it. So it's obviously on the list to read just for the sake of it. I think there's a few sciencey elements that people say that can sometimes be a markdown for them. And also look at their book when it's got no... That's so fun. Obviously... What was there? A ghost? What time is it? Oh, it's 11:05. Is it too early for lunch? Okay, last but not least, this book, once again, has been on my list for so long. I have not touched it, and it's because it's a big book. Tomorrow. 500 pages. Oh. This is by Gabrielle Savin. Very popular. I know multiple booktubers who gave this a good 5 stars. And also my sister read it, she loved it. So I do know it will be good. But I am just scared. Like all the books I'm hoping to read in 2026. I'm really hoping it goes well. We're trying to stay positive. If there's anything you think I should read sooner rather than later, please let me know. Subscribe and like this video to help me out because your girl, she's got a dream. Aww. And she's determined to make it happen eventually. Yeah, I'll see you later, my lovely people.